Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coach Show here on KOXE. I am Derek Stuckley, along with Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett. How are you on this Monday, sir?
Very good. The sun's been out for a couple of days. That ice is thawed and gone, and man, it feels good outside, doesn't
A
it?
little different. 75 yesterday after 25 most of last week?
Texas weather is ridiculous.
That's true. Well, speaking of Texas weather, that caused us to have some games pushed back to Saturday, but it was a very successful Saturday for the Lions and Lady Lions. So I guess let's start there.
Yeah, let's go back to Friday. We had some cancellations. Softball scrimmage against Abilene Cooper was canceled. Baseball scrimmage with Gatesville was canceled. But we did have basketball last Friday night against Stephenville. Both teams were not successful on the girls' side. I mean, I thought they played extremely well. There's a lot to learn from a loss. They kept that ball game close for a good time. Stephenville's ranked in the top 10, and they sort of took over the second half. But, we talk about all the time our girls fight hard. They never quit. They didn't do it that night, and that propelled them to a big win on Saturday against a Graham team that's a pretty solid team, well matched up with us. Had to come back from 11 points to win that game, so congratulations to the girls for that. On the boys' side, with about 2 minutes left against Stephenville, we had an opportunity to win that thing. We probably left 9 points out there with less than 2 minutes and gave them a chance to stay in the game. They hit a big three late to tie the game up, and then wound up what I thought was a pretty bad foul in the paint. I mean, I couldn't understand it. Luke Gray, you have a 6'6" kid trying to root him out, and he just standing straight up with his hands up, and they called a foul on us, which gave them momentum, wound up winning by 3. But again, they bounced back on Saturday and beat a Graham team that's, like I said, well balanced with us. And for us, it's one of those games we feel we need to win, sit and have an opportunity to finish in second place possibly. We think Graham can do well against Stephenville. So we're sitting in a good position for the boys. So congratulations to the boys and girls on victories on Saturday. Soccer went, I guess, their second game in district, went over to China Springs and played over there behind the 8 ball a little bit. They only had one official with the way things went. You couldn't play some sub-varsity games, and you couldn't play certain games on the Thursday, so those were moved to Saturday because of lack of officials. We only had one official in those games, but our girls were successful 2-1. Coach Mosqueda felt good going in. Felt good coming out, so the girls are just competing well. And, again, are 2-0 in district now. Our boys won 3-0. Caleb Nelson had 2 goals, and Noah Barron added another one. I think he's about an average of 1 goal a game, which is big. So congratulations to them. They're sitting 2-0 in district now, and that's good for us. Playing in a district we hadn't seen before, knowing that we have to get in one of those top 4 spots to go to the playoffs this year. The last couple of years we were only in the 14 district, so we went regardless. So Coach Westerman's turning that program around, and those boys are getting more consistent. They're expecting to win, and they're going out and doing it, so congratulations to them. Let's see what else we had. Basketball, tennis was going to be a quad scrimmage here in town. They had a couple of teams that weren't in school, but they were able to play some matches anyway. It's sort of just a glorified practice, so they got out there. The sun was shining. It was a little bit chilly, but they got to get out there and play, so Coach Blasek has them going. And looking forward to seeing them more in the spring.
Yeah, definitely a busy and good weekend. As far as Lady Lions basketball goes, of course, they locked up the number 3 spot for the playoffs. Not quite finalized yet. Should be tomorrow night, but it looks like probably Lubbock Estacado in the first round.
And that probably is going to be on, I think, Tuesday the 14th is what we're looking at. I actually moved the boys' game that week to the Monday in case we do have a playoff game on Tuesday so that our people can go don't have to split, can go to watch the playoff game. Let's see, if we go to Tuesday, we have the girls' soccer is at Salado at 5 and 7, and the boys will play at Gordonwood Stadium at 7:30. So we have soccer action there. The baseball scrimmage with Lampasas was moved to today. I don't have any results on that because they're playing as we speak. And boys' golf will be in action at Lampasas. The game, the what do you call it, match that they lost because of the weather. They picked that back up for Tuesday. Wednesday we have softball versus Early. It's starting at 4:30 with the varsity and then 6:30 with the JV, and that is a scrimmage. So it's just a glorified practice, but if you want to see some softball, go out and watch them. Powerlifting will be at Comanche on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And then we have track. Boys track is going to Abilene for a practice meet with them, Abilene High, on Friday. And then we have softball at Lampasas, 4:30 and 6:30. Baseball will be at home against Abilene Cooper. Again, those are both scrimmages. but it's nice to get out there and see, sort of get an idea of what we have. We have basketball versus Glen Rose at home at 4:30 for the boys, and then we have girls and boys soccer at Stephenville starting at 5:30 and then 7. And then we have tennis at Fort Worth on Friday. So again, we're kicked off. We've thrown track in the mix now, and baseball and softball in the mix. So now we pretty much are in full swing in the spring, and excited about what we have. I know there's a lot of excitement for the girls softball team and what they have going. The boys, I got to go out before the basketball games the other night and watch them practice and get in the cage with in a little bit. Coach Harris lets me get out there and use my eyes and see a little bit. I used to coach baseball for a long time, and I still love the game, but it was nice to get out there and see what they have and just intermingle with them and just watch them out there in the cages hitting, and they look pretty good, so we're excited about what's going on. Coach Hill talks about the pitching rotation for the boys, and I feel like we have a good opportunity to compete for a district championship, so that's good for them.
Yeah. Kind of back to boys basketball. Of course, they've got the district bye Tuesday. Be interesting to see how these other games turn out and see where we stand going into the Glen Rose game Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, Glen Rose probably has it locked up. I think they're 5-0 now.
They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're a good, solid basketball team. And then you look at us, Mineral Wells, Stephenville, and Graham. We're sort of all intermingled right there together. If we can take care of business, I think it works out. If we take care of business against Mineral Wells, and then Graham beats Stephenville, I think that'll put us in the 2 position, if I'm not mistaken. So that could go anywhere. We could be 2, we could be 4, you just don't know. But we just need to take care of our business and let everybody else handle theirs. So we'll see how it turns out.
You mentioned a little bit about boys soccer. Of course, both their district games now have been 3-0 wins, and that's, coming from where they've been the last few years, not only winning the district but winning handily is very good to see.
Yeah, what I see, and I will never proclaim to be the master of soccer. I understand it a little bit. I had daughters that played soccer. They spread the field really well. They pass the ball really well. They understand what they're trying to do when they're on attack. They got some good scores, and they're not afraid to score. We keep the ball on the opponent's side of the field a lot more than we have in the past, where we're always playing defense. But when they do get the ball down on the defensive side, our defensive line does a good job of stopping the ball or getting it out of bounds and making them reset, and we take over again. And Wyatt's done a great job in the goal. All in all, I mean, they're responding to their coach, and Coach Westman has done a phenomenal job. I mean, their attitude is one of we want to win. They're playing as a team, and they're a physical team. I watch out that they're not afraid to go in there and check people up and take the ball away. In the past, I didn't see that as much. So I've seen a lot of growth, and they're excited about what they're doing. And they're now to a point where they don't, maybe we go out and we think we're going to get beat. We're going to beat. Well, the results of that is you probably are. They don't think that anymore. They think they're going to go out and win in every game they've been in, other than one game in a tournament when they were playing a 5A school that was pretty dominant, where they blown out. But other than that, every game they've won has been good, and the games that they hadn't won have usually been a one-score game. So you can see them getting over the hill and getting over that hump, and now they're on the downhill slide, and they're expecting to win. So we expect more out of them, and really pleased with what I see from them.
Yeah, and the girls' game Saturday, they kind of got off to a slow start. We're down 1-0 at halftime, but really turned things around in the second half.
Scored 2 in the second half, and that's just the product of believing we can win regardless of the situation. Those girls have been successful for several years now. They play extremely hard. They feed off their coach. Coach Musqueda is very positive, very energetic, outgoing. I mean, she brings excitement to them, and they sort of play like her personality. And they get out there, they don't worry, communicate really well, and being down 1-0 to none at halftime, you'd think they'd be panicked, but they don't. They just go out there and keep doing what they do, and know that eventually they'll get the shots and put goals, make goals.
Talked a little bit about softball scrimmages, but the regular season opener is a week from today, I believe.
Yeah, that's Jim Ned at home, I think, on the 13th. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to be at that one. I'm excited to see them. Some of those girls that played last year were inexperienced. They're a year older now. They play a little bit more. Coach McGee has that same type of personality as Coach Musqueda. She's very energetic, up-tempo, vocal, keeps them in the game, keeps them head shape. Interested to see what we do on the mound. I don't know that there's an answer yet, but I think we have some good opportunities to see some girls that can go out there and do that. I'm just excited to see the product that we're putting out there, and an opportunity to see Coach McGee and what she's going to bring this year.
All right. Of course, we talked all other sports. What is football got going on right now?
Well, today we started our second phase for us, which is our first phase is basically just getting in the weight room every day and grinding. We've done that. Then we go to track after school, and everybody runs and gets in shape and develops speed that way. But now we've gone to our second phase, which allows us to lift a couple of days in the morning, so that during the period that we can go get our mat drills in, which is huge for us on character and heart and grind and grit. It's difficult. The mat workout that we put our kids through is extremely difficult, so we get them to embrace that and just fight through it and grind, and then we'll divide that, and then they'll go do some stations, some plow boxes, some speed ladders and things like that, and then they rotate out to the track where we're working on speed training and explosive and powered, with our legs and learning to run properly with running form and things like that. So I really enjoy this phase of it. Because now you're seeing kids get out there and develop and get stronger and faster. They're not just in the weight room getting faster. The mats are huge to me because it's all a mentality thing. I like to see what kind of mentality we're going to have as a group. We're showing great leadership right now. They've been running the weight room themselves. Coaches are just there to help them, and that's a neat thing because we've been trying to get there for a long time. But we have some juniors that'll be seniors next year that have stepped up and led that way. And we'll continue to do that, throughout phase 2. They're going to have to be those guys that are leading those guys on the mat. And then when we're out there doing form running, it's not difficult. It's just learning how to run properly and being more efficient at what we do. It really helped us last year in off season. So we're going to continue to do that. And towards the end of February and into March, we'll start our third phase, which is we'll get out on the field a little bit, start preparing for, that long 7-on-7.
Your favorite time of year?
Oh, man, I am not a lover of 7-on-7, as you know.
Oh, did we touch on everything? Is there anything we didn't hit on today?
Yeah, what we did miss is one of our cohorts behind the scenes. You don't get to see her, but she's the one that makes it available for everybody to see our beautiful faces. Mm-hmm. Star has a birthday today, so we got to say happy birthday to Star. She turned 60, from what I understand from you. You dug in the archives and found her birth certificate.
That's what I've heard. Yes.
Knocked the dust and everything off of it, and got a magnifier where you could read the faded ink to tell that she was born somewhere in about
1900s, right?
60, it'd be 63, wouldn't it? That would make her 60, right?
It could. That's possible.
Some close. Yeah, some good mathematician.
Straight up from the 1900s.
That's right. She's getting older as we speak.
I got to give a shout out to Steve Warren, who's a longtime Abilene guy, big time coach, well known in our profession. I saw him at the regional meeting on Saturday. But he tells me he watches a radio show, listens to the radio show on his way home from work, and the reason he has to do that is because I think that's the only station he can pick up from here and there, but he always gives me a shout-out when I see him about the radio show, but I'll give him a shout-out today.
Good deal. All right, so is there anything else we need to mention today, Coach?
Yep, we better thank those that make this show possible, of course. Auto Glass Magic, Burner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bond Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edward Jones Investments, Hendrick Medical, Howard Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Heartland Funeral Home, Landmark Admin, MC Bank, Painter Johnson Associates, Smith & Sharp Agency, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
All right, we will be back Wednesday to talk some Tuesday results, talk a little FCA All-Star Festival here.
Maybe predictions for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I guess we probably need to do that, huh? Didn't you make your prediction the other day?
I don't think I did.
Oh, well,
I gotta remember who's in it.
Well, this gives you time to study. All right, we'll be back here Wednesday on KOXE, KOXE.com, the KOXE app, and the KOXE Facebook pages.
Have a great day, Brownwood.